Hello YouTube. I'm hoping you can hear me. I haven't got my microphone plugged in. It's very windy. It's very dark. I'm going to try and find a pitch up on Kings Tor or thereabouts. I got here a lot later than I'd hoped to. So I'm going to have a look up Kings Tor, see if I can find somewhere, maybe have a wander down to Swell Tor Quarry. I've not been to Kings Tor or Swell Tor before. Been to Fogging Tor Quarry, which is just down the road. But yeah, it's a late one, it's a dark one, it's a cold one, and it's windy. So forecast tonight 35-mile-an-hour winds. I'll be in the Lanshan, so that'll be a good test of that. Assuming I can find my way up there and get pitched up, that is. Right, it's getting dark. I've got to put my torch on, so I'll bring you back in a bit. Right, there's a river here. That didn't show on the map. Obviously that's overflowed on the path. See if I can find somewhere across it. Well, I managed to get across that river in the end. A bit precarious, but yeah, I didn't get soaked. That's the main thing. I'm just at the base now of Kings Tor, so just like there behind me. So I'm heading up there and see if I can find somewhere to pitch. Fairly sharpish. Right, so I've finally got set up. Obviously doing it in the pitch black. It was pitch black on the walk up here. It was quite windy and a bit wet on the way up, but the forecast is supposed to be 30-mile-an-hour winds and rain all night long, but it was dead calm when I was setting up, which was a bit unusual. Not a breeze, no rain, no nothing, so it's perfect. It's just starting to get a bit misty, a bit damp inside now because the clag's coming in. There's a lot of fog. So I'm testing out a new microphone. So tell me what you think in the comments below if it sounds any good. Thumbs up or thumbs down. I'm not going to put a link or tell you what it is, so I'm going to do a proper review on it first off. Finding it a bit annoying and fiddly at the moment, to be honest with you, but having to keep checking and make sure it's working. So, but there you go. The reason why I didn't wear it on the way up here was because it was quite windy. It was pitch black, and the one major flaw to this is got a tiny little clip, and it's not very strong. And when I put it on my jacket or on my rucksack, the strap, the sternum strap, it just was easily falling off. So I didn't trust it. I thought I'd lose it. I'm going to obviously do something to modify that and make it a bit stronger. But I'll leave that for another time and hopefully do a full review on it just to see if it could be a cheap alternative to a Rode Wireless Go, for example. But if not, That'd be on my wish list for Christmas. I have not brought any alcohol tonight. I didn't have time. I was in a bit of a rush this afternoon. I didn't get a chance to fill my JD flask, so all I've got is coffees, which is fun. But dinner tonight, gone for something a bit different. I've never had one of these before, so I've got a fire pot porcini mushroom risotto. So I'll see what that tastes like. And as I said, I was in a rush. I didn't get a chance to get anything ready before I came out, so I've gone on Bolton Adventure Foods expedition breakfast, going against my my word there of making my own stuff all the time, but there you go, needs must. Right, I'm going to get a coffee on because I'm thirsty, tired, and I'm going to get some grub as well. See you in a bit. Right, so just had a coffee. My porcini mushrooms, sounds quite posh, is bubbling away in the bag, so I'm just letting that rehydrate. And yeah, so you come out to the moors for, you know, just a quiet evening on your own, just to have a chill out and relax. And what happens? Stalker turns up. So Stalker's come back, and look who's here. Let me get him in the light.
Get on, only me again.
It's Daniel from Kernow Camps, and little Dave the dog, who's trying to get in my tent because he's freezing.
You came out for a dog walk, mate.
Yeah, I've come out for a dog walk tonight. So Daniel's doing a charity dog walk. What is it, 250?
100 kilometres
100
throughout
kilometres.
the month of November for Bone Cancer Research Trust.
So hopefully the mic picked that up because I'm just using the phone. So yeah, it's a 100 kilometre walk, dog walk in November for, what is it?
Bone Cancer Research Trust.
Bone Cancer Research Trust. And it's a dog walk. So yeah, Daniel's out in this horrible, miserable, pitch black weather, and he's decided to pop over and join me for a cup of coffee, which is nice. And little Dave sitting there.
Get some water.
Poor man. Yeah, and I was running out of water as well because I forgot after that. So he's brought me a top up, which is handy. He didn't bring me any Jack Daniels though, but he didn't know.
I would have done.
He would have got me a bottle of Jack Daniels on the way. We could have just sat here and got hammered. There's not enough room for you to fit in here though. Get out of my tent, Dave.
Dave.
Get out. He's got to sneak in my sleeping bag.
I don't know about me spooning with you, but he would.
He would, yeah. You can leave him here and go back. We can have half a bottle of Jack Daniels each and then just go and sleep in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know how long my porcini's been on for.
Oh. Some minutes.
Some minutes, yeah.
The thing is, it's not going to rehydrate too much, is it?
No, I suppose
so leave it for another 5 minutes.
Be cold. Get out, Dave. You're there in my tent.
Or bite into a rock hard mushroom.
Yeah, that'll be the other. I'll have a go. Well, I've just finished my fire pot, the porcini mushroom risotto. It's quite nice. It was a bit dry. Maybe I didn't put enough water in it, but it sort of rehydrated fully. But it was quite tasty. A few spices in it, so it wasn't too bad. Still not 100% sure on this microphone. I keep listening back to the video and the audio, and I'm not 100% on it. So I'll give it a long-term try and see how it goes. Daniel from Kernow Camps has just left us, so that was nice of him to pop over. He's just doing his charity dog walk for bone cancer. So yeah, he just stopped and had a cup of coffee. Kindly donated some water because I didn't bring much with me, so that was nice. But he's off in the pitch black without any navigation, going around the tours to get up his mileage for the challenge. So if you haven't, go and check him on Facebook and on his channel, which is Kernow Camps, and give him some support if you can. He's doing a lot of walking for charity, so it's a good cause. My mum actually had bone cancer, and she died from that, and also an esophageal tumour that she had as well. So yeah, bone cancer is a horrible thing, spreads everywhere. So if you can help, pop over and give him a sub and give him some help on the charity walk as well. I don't know if you can hear it, but the wind is picking up, and it's pouring down with rain now, it's really hammering. So it looks like the forecast is going to come to what they said. I don't know if it's going to hit 30 odd mile an hour, but we'll see. It's just suddenly turned quite quickly. Temperatures rapidly dropped as well. I've got a Bluetooth thermometer that I got for my birthday from my son, which I checked before I came out. It was working paired to my phone, and I've just tried linking it up and it's not working now, so I don't know if it needs a reset, but I haven't got a little pin to press into it, so I'm not too sure. Hopefully you can hear me. I haven't got the microphone at the moment, so too much of a faff and I can't be bothered. I've had another cup of coffee. Need to go out for a call of nature, but don't really want to in this weather, so I'll give it a while. Hopefully it'll be an uneventful night, but I've not really tested the Lanshan properly in the wind, particularly as I haven't got a trekking pole holding it up, so I'm using my carbon pole. You can see it here. It's a 16mm carbon pole. It's pretty strong and sturdy. It's the same thickness as that you'd have on a trekking pole anyway, so it should be good. But as I say, I haven't tested it yet. If I came out and pitched in horrific wind, I think I would use my trekking pole to set it up. Main reason being I can lower the tent a little bit, so I can get it a bit more down to the ground. Less wind in, and obviously if it snowed or anything, or real bad rain, it's not coming underneath the vestibule. But obviously this is a fixed pole, it's 125 centimetres, so I can't change the height of it. But I think it'll be alright tonight. It's not too windy. We shall see. Fingers crossed. So just come out to tighten the guy lines. One of the downsides to seal nylon tents, they do stretch a bit when they get wet. And recheck the pegs. It's pretty windy, and they're moving a bit. So yeah, the wind's picked up, the temperature has dropped. Rain and a bit of ice in the tent, so it's definitely gone down to low temperatures. The Lanshan's holding up pretty well so far. It's not been drastically windy, maybe 20-25 mile an hour gusts tops. But I've got that carbon fibre pole still up, so I'm hoping it will last the night. It's supposed to get worse through the night. We shall see. It was certainly getting a bit battered inside, but the wind is coming across this way. It's sort of hitting end on the tent, so it should deflect okay around it. It's quite exposed. We shall see. I'll get back in. It's freezing. Right, it's about 11:15. Wind's died down a bit now. It's got a bit of manic earlier on. But yeah, it's quietened down. Rain stopped, which is nice. So I'm going to get my head down, and if nothing else happens in the night, fingers crossed it won't, then I'll catch you guys in the morning. Right, well, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not saying good morning YouTube because I'm going back to bed in a minute. But I try to get up and check all the tent pegs, because it just took an absolute hammering for about 20 minutes. sitting in here. I don't know what the winds are getting up to out there now, but it was windy. I reckon it's definitely hitting the estimate of 35 miles an hour. So the tent's bearing up well. The carbon pole's still there, so we're still doing good, but just getting a bit of a battering. See if I can get some more sleep. Yeah, it's definitely getting worse. The wind and the rain. Tent is taking an absolute hammering. I don't know if you can even hear me. So I'm going to have to go out and check again to make sure everything's okay. Maybe give it a minute. I've got water flipping in through the little air vent at the top here, which I think is just condensation from the outside of the tent, I'm hoping. Why do we do this? She's holding well. The tent is doing a lot better than I thought it was going to, because this is really getting rough now. Oh, I'm getting battered about all over the place. Well, I'm going to go and double check those pegs. Just make sure everything's okay. I think if they stay in, the tent will be fine. I think. Well, I've just been outside again. I waited for the rain to stop, so I'm in my down jacket, and I thought, well, I'll just shoot out there and quickly check the pegs, and it absolutely hammered it down. I got my anemometer out and it was reading 38 miles an hour at that point. The tent's bowing pretty badly, but it's doing alright. I'm just hoping I haven't got a bail on this, but I'm now soaked inside the tiniest tent in the world. So I'll try and dry off and get back in my bag. Right, so we've had one small failure. The good old crappy plastic hooks have snapped off the front of the vestibule. The tent's still standing and holding, but the wind is getting worse. And I've got a bungee attached to the bottom, which I'm going to try and see if I can get out and attach that to the peg. I don't know if it's going to work though. This may be a bail and a fail. Jesus, I can hardly hold it. Well, I've managed a temporary fix. I'm not sure if you can see the black bungee cord, but I've managed to double wrap the guide up around it and stretch it out. I don't know if it'll last. I hope I haven't got a bail. It's a short walk back, but it's a horrible walk back across a horrible river. And I want to see this through. We shall see. So I've just checked the weather forecast, and it's gone up to 40 miles per hour winds now. It's not right this moment. It seems to die down a bit, which is nice, and I'm hoping it dies down. It should get down to about 20 later on tonight, bearing in mind it's now nearly 4 o'clock. Only 2 or 3 hours more to go. Just trying to keep the tension off this bungee, because it's not exactly a heavy duty one. And it's getting a bad burn. can really feel the force of that wind against the tent. It's going to be a long couple of hours if I've got to sit here like this all night. The bungee is sort of stretched to its maximum, and it is only thin. I think it's like 2mm bungee. I didn't put it on there for this reason, so it's not designed for this. But I'm hoping it will hold, because if that goes, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Right, well, I'm not going to get much sleep in here tonight. It's about 4:30, 20 to 5. The wind's not letting off. I'm spending my time just holding the vestibule door just in case that bungee gives way. Which is not enjoyable, so I might attempt to make myself a cup of coffee and hopefully the door doesn't snap and set on fire. Nothing else to do, I suppose, so might as well. Well, if I'm going to be awake, I might as well have a coffee. Right, got myself a coffee on. Trying to hold this door up, the vestibule. Just trying to keep pressure off that bungee outside, which is a killer on the arms. It's really taking a battering. It's quietened down a bit now, but every now and then you get a massive gust, which I think is that 40 mph forecast. And I don't trust that bungee. It's 5:30 and it's just started picking up again. The bungee is still holding. I really don't want to bail out, but I am just laying here awake, keeping an eye on the vestibule. I had a coffee and I'm just watching rubbish videos like this one. I seem to have a leak around the zip. Now, I'm assuming that's where the wind is driving the rain into the flap on the zip. Or it could be where I've been sitting here for an hour holding it out, I don't know. I'll have to check that out when I get back. So yeah, it's not been the best of nights. I've been up since 2 o'clock, haven't slept. I've just been trying to hold the door down, trying to stop the bungee from snapping. The wind's died down a little bit, so I had a bit of a rest, and then they picked up again. And suddenly I realised the main door, the opening door on the left hand side, was flapping in the wind, and the zip had just pulled the zip straight out. So where I've got the bungee attached to the right hand door, it wasn't holding itself down because it's only holding one door. I did have a spare 10 peg, but I've lost it somewhere on a trip somewhere. So yeah, necessity being the mother of all invention, I've used my titanium spork to hold the door down, which seems to be working, but as you can see, it's pulling apart the zip again. So a bit of a nightmare, but all fun and games, eh? It's just 7:15 now, so I am going to I'll start getting packed up, make a cup of coffee, might have some breakfast, see how it goes, and try and get this tent down in 40 mph winds. They're forecasting between 7 and 8 o'clock 40-mile-an-hour winds, so I think we are probably not far off that right now, so it's going to be a good laugh getting this down. Wish me luck. Well, we made it through the night. I won't sing that song. Hopefully you can hear me. It's incredibly windy. Getting a little bit of sunrise as well going on up there. It's a nice clear morning. We're still pushing sort of 30+ mph winds at the moment. But the Lanshan did well. I was quite surprised. Everything has worked except for the notorious ram's horn clips that go on these here. So basically that's what snapped. So I have used this bit of bungee that I had, which has worked quite well because it's got some flex in it, and then just tied it around the peg there. In the night this zip just kept blowing straight open, so I used a titanium spork to hold it down like a spare tent peg. All fun and games. Right, I'm going to try and get packed up. That was not easy. I'm all packed up now. I have left no trace. I'm not going to show you because I've just legged it to get some shelter behind these rocks, because it just started absolutely pouring down and blowing a hoolie. So yeah, it's been an adventure, this one. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, all that malarkey, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.